Hey everyone, and welcome to a video about the viral story out there. Bryan Kohberger is going to give a tell-all interview. Or Hubpages made a story go viral with no sources confirming it, prompting the Kohberger family to go out and say this is BS. Which one is true? And as creators, do we have an obligation to try and vet information before we share this? Let's dig into it a little bit. This article started popping up on Twitter yesterday. I replied to someone, this doesn't seem real because Idaho has Son of Sam laws. Then I went to bed, got up this morning, and I could see people arguing that this is the truth. This is what's happening because someone put it online, so it must be true. And just because the family's lawyer debunked it, well, he would do that, wouldn't he? And this is the big problem in the modern age of online journalism, online creators. A lot of people want to be first. So maybe fact checking goes a little laxer because it's a great story, it's a great headline, and you will get the impressions. Impressions equals monies. But do we have an obligation to try and stop rumors? I followed the Karen Reed case. In the Karen Reed case, one of the things that happened almost every day was a new rumor popping up. And everyone would come into every chat and say, did you hear this? And you would spend 5-6 hours streaming, and new people will come in and say, did you hear this? And you'll say, yeah, it's not true. There's no proof of that. Well, I heard it. Yeah, that's fine. But can you verify it? No, but I heard it from Sean of the Gulf, and he used to be a DEA agent. None of what he said was true, but he got a great following doing clickbait. And this is the same with the Kohberger case. Everyone was gearing up to this big case that would be the next big case. Now the rumor mill is going. Everyone believes it's true that Kohberger is going to do an interview. But if you just scratch a little bit in the surface, which probably some creators should have done before they went online with it, does it make sense to say there is a no-holds-barred televised interview agreed upon with Kohberger and his family? Will we see A Killer Speaks, a voice from the shadows in November? Well, I can't find any proof of it. I went to bed, got up this morning, started looking on the Google. I can't find any confirmation other than the lawyer saying it's not true. Don't you think the news outlet who have this scoop, which will be the biggest scoop in the Kohberger case, would have announced it? If Hubpages, I don't know how well you know Hubpages, I didn't know it before, but if they can break this news, don't you think CNN, ABC, whoever got the interview would have gone out and said, yes, let's get our impressions for it? No one has confirmed it. And what is Hubpages? Well, it kind of looks like every standard online news blog. It's a user-generated blog platform. This is just like Reddit. Anyone can write anything they want on there. There are no fact-checking or editorial oversight. You can write any story you want on Hubpages. And like my thumbnail says, just because something is written on the internet doesn't make it true, even if it looks kind of official. Again, no trustworthy news outlet has picked up this story. None. It's only Hubpages who had this breaking news. This is maybe the biggest case that was coming down the pipeline. I know how cutthroat the world of true crime is. We are all trying to get our views. Of course, we are. We want to grow our channels. We all want to find that special angle to the next big thing. So, do you think, again, Hubpages and Donna Thomas, whoever she is, would get this scoop before some of the big names out there? We have some great creators who have broken some great stories, but it's Hubpages that breaks it. It's not the people who broke that there was a plea deal before it happened. Nope. It's going to be on Hubpages, the trusted names in news. And just look at the timeline. Kohberger pled guilty on July 2nd. That's 10 days ago. He's going to be sentenced on July 23rd. How did they have the time to write this TV deal? He's in prison. He can't do this. His family, well, they potentially could, but do you negotiate a six-figure deal in 10 days? 10 days where you have been inundated with requests to talk to you because of your brother's son doing something very heinous. This is just fantasy. Let's be honest. If you scratch and do the sniff test, this is a fantasy article. Because one of the things you will learn pretty quickly when you are a YouTuber, law tuber, crime tuber, whatever we call this genre I'm covering, is most states actually have son of Sam laws. What is a son of Sam law? Son of Sam laws are to prevent criminals making money off of their crime by selling interviews, by their families selling interviews. These deals would be almost impossible to make. And trust me, legal at CNN or ABC knows this. With a son of Sam law, the money generated from this interview would go to the victims. If they could even get paid, the victims would have the money before the family. I know there's a sad story about Kohberger's sister losing her job, which is not okay. She is not to blame for her brother. But she can't go on and sell her brother's story to make money. Son of Sam laws prevent this. To make sure you don't make money off of your crime or your family's crime, money that would come in from a deal like this would go to the victims. This would be incredibly difficult and very legally questionable to ever make a deal like this. And which news station out there do you think would say, F it, we're going to do it anyway? They have a big legal team. They have responsibilities. Hubpages doesn't have any of that. They can write what they want. So for any of you out there who saw this and thought, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, think about it. This is pure clickbait. The only real thing in this case or this article is he took a plea deal and his sister lost the job. But you just put on a fictional twist saying, hey, there's a big TV interview coming up. And you will get a ton of clicks, a ton of people who will share your article. You will make money. People who share this will get impressions on their Twitch squad. I will make a video on it. Hopefully 5 people will watch it. Everything helps. And this is the big problem these days. We creators, we live for impressions because impression is what makes our channels grow. This is how we get some income. This is how we get an audience. And we all want that. But don't we have an obligation when we are living in this online world to kind of check things before we just share them? I've been guilty of it. I've shared parody accounts as well. But this is the biggest criminal case this year. It would have probably had views in the hundreds of thousands if it had gone to court. I know why you want to write about it. I know why you want to make videos about it, because, hey, it can help your channel grow. But don't you, as a creator, have a little bit of responsibility to make sure we don't spread clickbait and false rumors? Legally, nah, we can do whatever we want. But morally, I saw it during the Karen Read case. Every now and again, a new truth would pop out. Hey, did you know that this and this happened? Well, where did you see it? Well, I heard it on the Twit. That's why I had that standard during the Karen Read. Anything filed in court or said in court under oath, I'll report on. I don't want to report on everything else, because how can I verify it? How can I verify what Colin did in his off time? How can I verify what dog was picked up by the daughter? I couldn't verify any of that, so I didn't report on it, because I didn't want to be a rumor channel. I didn't want to be the one sitting there just blowing smoke up people's behinds. And in this case, sadly, some creators wanted to be first instead of being right. I hope, after sleeping on it and seeing the family's lawyer debunking the story, they will go back and remove their tweets, because one thing we don't need, especially as independent creators who try to show people we are just as good journalists as everyone else, is to spread all of these false rumors and start a market where clickbait is value. Hopefully, we will see less of Kohberger in the future. He won't give an interview in November called From the Shadows, where he will confess to everything. Sadly, the story went faster than the facts. I hope people will take it down. Love you all.